Alright guys, let's open this thing up.
So, let's take it out of this rack. Inside the first box, we've got the
rear shock, Toytec Boss Kit 2.0.
And there's going to be 2 of those in here. Take that out. And in the big box, we give you one of these coilover adjusters.
Ooh, they're pre-assembled.
Boom, and they are pretty damn heavy.
And they're red.
Yeah, I just poked a hole in there.
You know how we like red.
Horsepower gain life. So it's pre-assembled, so this should be
Pretty straightforward.
Pretty quick for us. We don't have to mess with the top hat there.
Sweet. Let's check out this box here.
Last box. Alright. Springs. Rear springs. Too bad they're not red.
Yeah, to match. That would have been nice.
I wonder why they do that. They do black in the rear and red in the front.
Well, they give you the option of doing either red or silver colors.
Yeah. Alright, it also comes with the box here. Says 2-inch rear bump stops, extensions, and relocations for 2007 plus FJ, 2003 plus 4Runners. Made in Colorado, guys. Represent.
Ooh, shiny.
We got some shiny.
Damn, that is shiny.
Shit.
Like a brick of silver.
Looks like something that would like go into a engine part.
That's pretty tight.
Yeah, and then they'll give you some screws in here and pictures of
The instructions.
manual. We don't ever use these. We just go with it.
You just wing it.
Screw instructions. All right, let's do this, guys.
This is how we work on cars, guys. This is the old setup, guys. So we got the Old Man Emu shock on the Old Man Emu spring, and then the Total Chaos upper control arm. Remember, you're removing all of these and replacing it with the Toytec Boss Kit 2.0.
Alright guys, so in order to remove this shock here, first thing you want to do is you're going to loosen this bracket here. It's going to have 2 bolts on each side. You're going to take that off and then...
Make sure you guys take that off from both sides.
Yeah, both sides, so you can move it against the front here. And then the second thing you're going to do is you're going to remove this bolt here.
Yep, from the sway bar link.
And this is going to be 17.
And then you guys will probably need an Allen wrench right there, but we already loosened it a little bit just to show you guys.
So we're going to take this bolt off, and this should come out, and then the other side you're going to want to do the same thing.
So what we're doing is we're turning it all the way up pretty much 90 degrees, so that way we have all this space to work with. And if you guys aren't going to replace your upper control arm, it's gonna be best to remove the tie rod right here, so that way, yep, with the cotter pin, so that way you guys can actually pull the strut assembly down and out.
And if you guys are changing the upper control arm too, you remove the upper control arm, you can actually leave that tie rod on, and then you can just pull it out from
The top.
here.
Yep.
But we are not doing anything with the upper control arm, so we've got that bolt out. We are gonna take off this bolt, and then we're gonna loosen this bolt here, punch it out, loosen the top 3 bolts. Wow. Oh, I already loosened it. I was like, what? I'm gonna loosen out these 3 bolts, and then you can take it out. All right, guys, step 1. We're gonna remove this cotter pin. Take a flathead and bend it like that, and then needle nose, I'm gonna flatten it out. And then we are going to take our impact and these cotter pins are one-time use, so make sure you buy these before you start working on the car if you're going to be going from the bottom and removing the tie rod.
Yep.
Alright, once that comes out, just let it hang there. Next bolt we're going to do is this bolt right here. And then once that bolt comes out, we're going to take a punch. Don't forget this spacer. We're going to take a punch, we're going to punch it out. Okay, let's remove these top bolts here first. So after you take out these 3 top bolts here, we're actually gonna punch this through. It's not you don't have to screw it. Shabam. All right, once that bolt is through,
There we go.
we'll just yank on it.
Yeah.
Voila!
It'll just slip out just like that.
Watch your knee.
Watch your knee.
That was close. Oh, broke my knee. All right, guys. Here's the old one compared to the new one. About equal height, but the top hat on the Toytec is a lot thicker, and this one is actually a lot heavier. But we're just gonna slide it on the same way it popped out on us. Make sure you take off the...
And the old one's running away. Bye bye. See you later. Cool.
Take off
So,
the bolts here.
And the big difference between the Toytec Boss one compared to the Old Man Emu one is that this one is fully adjustable.
Alright, so we're just gonna pop this in the same way it came out. Would you buy these from Toytec? They're labeled at the bottom, so make sure you follow the label. DS stands for driver side. So, driver side here. We're gonna put this top end in first. And we're gonna match up the 3 screws on the top. There we go. Once you guys get it in there, screw in the top here. That way you don't have to hold it. For the bottom, you want to make sure this steering is straight or towards the right if you're on doing the driver's side. That way you have an entrance. Here, come up here so you know what I mean. So if the boot is like this and you turn the steering to the right, you have an opening towards that bottom gap there, and you're just gonna push that in. And once it's back in there, we can align it and then pop the bolt back in.
So you guys are gonna actually lift the brake assembly along with the axle, the whole lower control arm. You guys want to lift it up as you guys are pushing the bolt through. That way the hole lines up.
Straight.
A little bit more right there. Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Don't forget the washer, whatever. Once you get it in through there, we're gonna torque it. After you torque this down here, we're gonna put the tie rod bolt back on. And like that. Alright, so before you tighten this bolt again, we're gonna put some anti-seize on this so it doesn't seize up on us. Once the top is torqued, bottom's torqued, tie rod is in, we are gonna put sway bar link in. And we're gonna tighten that. After that's in, torqued, we're going to put the bracket back on here, and down at the bottom here tells you the arrow. So that on. So this is what it looks like all finished up. Make sure you guys tighten up everything and just throw back on the wheel and we're good to go. Alright guys, the front's all done. Now it's time for the rear. First thing you want to do before you even do the shocks or anything, you want to remove the sway bar bolts on both sides, so that later on you can get to the spring over here. So we already did the other side, now we're just going to loosen this side here.
Once you guys have the sway bar bolts out, what we're going to do next is remove the shock. So with ours actually has a shield attached to it. So we're just going to remove that real quick. Alright. Once we have our shield removed and moved to the side, we're going to remove the lower bolt. Then, for the top one, we're going to be using a ratcheting 19 for the top. and then a 19 to hold the shock still. Alright, and then remove the washer and the rubber bushing, and then now when you come down here, we're just gonna pry that apart. And then it just comes right out. Just like that. So here's the old man Emu shock from the rear, and here's the new Toytec box. I'm going to use a little mallet to help it in place. And then you grab the bolt and the washer.
Alright, so once you have both the shocks removed, the next step is to drop the axle. So once you guys have your jack stands underneath the track bar bracket, we're going to go ahead and lower the jack that was supporting the rear axle. And once you do that, this should drop all the way down here after you compress the springs, and it'll be loose like this. And you could just pull it out from here, actually.
Nice. That was easier than I expected it to be.
So, there it is.
And don't kill yourself with these compressors.
Alright, when you guys are decompressing these, you want to do a little bit over here and then a little bit over here. Don't do one side completely, because then this will move towards the spring, and then you won't have any space to put the socket on. So we're going to do one side at a time here. Alright guys, when you are compressing the new springs, you want to make sure the compressors are facing each other on each side so you can compress the spring evenly. The top hat here is going to go like that once you put in the spring, and make sure when you clamp these down, you clamp it towards the bottom of the spring. So when you screw it in, this doesn't go past the top, and then you'll get stuck at the top here. So get it at probably the second coil here, and you should be able to clear it. Once we've got it evenly compressed on both sides here, you're gonna stick the, make sure you have the rubber top hat, whatever this thing's called, on, and you're gonna go top end in first. And there you go. Once you guys set the spring in here, you're gonna want to turn this until the end of the bottom spring, the last coil, sits flush against that seat right there.
First, you want to take the bolt off, the washer, and the top rubber piece. You want to insert that back up there, and then put the rubber and then the washer. There's gonna be barely any thread for the nut to catch on, so, but should be just enough to get it started. That way it can hold itself up. Then on the bottom, you can try to compress it. Let's squeeze it in there, or you could jack it up and use the jack to actually try to level it and get it level with the hole. I just compressed it,
Tap it in a little bit.
For the top, I'm gonna do the exact same. Gonna put 19 to hold that in place, and then we're gonna start it off. And tighten it as much as you can. Once you've gotten the top and the bottom bolts in for the shock and torqued, you're gonna want to put the stabilizer bar back. The sway bar brackets, we're just gonna push it up. And the top, if you pull on the bar itself, it should pull it towards it, which will give you room. That's it, guys. I hope you guys find this video helpful, and if you guys have any questions or comments, put in the description below, and we'll see you guys next time. All right,
Adios.